Hello again, welcome back. This video is going to be another life story video, as the last one went considerably well and you guys seem to enjoy it. So I got another story for you guys. As you can see, I have my fiance with me, which is Kirsty, which is also one of the investigators from the team. So this story is not about dabbing. So this story is going to be probably a little bit more on the sad side than the other one. Well, it will be, as this will be the not when the story is not about when she birthed. But this will be a story about when I was going to become a father. Okay, so where should we start it off?
Well, I think they know how babies are made.
No. So for a very long time, since even from the age of 16, I've always wanted to be a dad. That was what was probably the difference between me and a lot of people my age, around about that age and a little bit more upwards, because obviously at that age people really just want to go out, have fun, drink, blah blah blah. I was more the type of person that I wanted to settle down as soon as possible and to have a family. So I was definitely different from a lot of the other people. Okay, so for quite some time now, from when me and Kirsty got together, we wanted to have kids. It took a very long time for it to happen. It took 2 years.
Yeah, because I got diagnosed with cyst on the ovaries at 16, and that's why it took so long. Because obviously menstrual cycle and other things.
So yeah,
away.
She was diagnosed with polycystic ovaries. If you don't know what that is, it's just like cysts on your ovaries.
You can either have big cyst on one of your ovaries or big cyst on both, or you can have the one that I've got, which is loads of cysts on both my ovaries, which is why it takes me longer to get pregnant.
So yeah, that's what the polycystic ovaries are. So obviously it's going to take it would take a very long time, but it took about 2 years, as Kirsty said. And how did we find out first? You went to the doctors, didn't you, and got or you just did a random test?
No, I was being sick, do you remember, all the time, and your dad come up, do you remember, and
yeah,
but that's just not normal, because obviously I was being sick constantly.
Wasn't you eating like really strange things as well?
Oh yeah, I was. Mayonnaise with everything, like noodles, mayonnaise.
Like mayonnaise with everything we're talking.
Then it was crisps and curry sauce.
And you couldn't smell pickle. Was it pickles?
Yeah, pickles.
Pickles, because the smell of it made you.
Any type of pickles, I would be sick.
Yeah, which is a lot of the things that they usually say is signs of.
Plus, I had literally every single pregnancy sign: missed cycle, back pain, everything. I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
I had everything. So then we just bought. Remember, like over the time. Loads of tests, but most come up negative, do you remember? And it took us like, what was it?
Yeah, sorry.
It took like, I think it was about 10 pregnancy tests for it to show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until it did, and then I went doctors. Got it confirmed and had a scan, do you remember?
So yeah, as Kurt said, we tried lots of like tests that you would buy from the store and such. They didn't really come up really saying anything, so we thought she thought, oh well, if we go doctors, because it's a bit more accurate if you go to the doctors. So she went, well, you'll have to tell this part because obviously I wasn't there.
they literally just did a pregnancy test like I did. I just had to pee in a pot and they did the test and it came up positive, like the one that my last two did.
That's not what I was trying to get you to explain, but sure, okay. I already know you had to pee into a pot. I mean, maybe you just wanted to add a little story to it, you know, like a little twist.
No, you got to tell the whole story, right?
Sure.
You
So
got the scan. Well, then all I did was got the confirmation from the doctor, and then they just referred me to King's College down the road. And then I went there and got the scan. They confirmed I was pregnant. I was 6 weeks, no, I remember, I think I was 6, 7 weeks, nearly 7 weeks pregnant.
yeah.
And then then I come back home. And that's when we started telling people, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Then I had a little scare at the beginning, I had bleeding.
Yep.
But that was spotting. That's normal.
So for quite some time of once we got confirmed that Kirsty was pregnant, obviously at the time it was very scary for me. Obviously probably was very scary for her too. But for me it was very scary just because I think like any first time parent, you would say, they would feel like, do I think that I'm ready? Like, am I really going to be a good father? Blah 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 blah, that kind of thing. It took a very long time for me to get around to actually being like really excited, because a lot of it was just mainly worry. And so yeah, I managed to come around on making myself feel more confident about it, more excited and such. And then obviously at the time my head was all over the place because I was so worried about everything, and everything was on my mind. I didn't know how things were going to go, blah blah blah. So obviously I started having thoughts along the lines of Kirsty basically cheating on me. These thoughts were in my mind because my mind just wasn't in the right place at that time. So then it got to the point of where I confronted Kirsty, and it just turned into a whole big mess. There was a lot of shouting, a lot of crying. Then Kirsty then obviously started to say that she was experiencing pains in her stomach, which was obviously definitely not a good sign. So after a while, we finally managed to calm down.
After the stomach pains, we both calmed down.
Yeah. After the stomach pains, we calmed down because obviously we noticed that obviously it's not very good for the baby, like any kind of stress or whatnot.
Then that's when I started bleeding.
Yeah.
But I wasn't using the baby then. That was just spotting. That was because then I also then went for another scan, didn't I?
Yep.
Because obviously with my sis they wanted to make sure everything was okay until 12 weeks. Do you remember? Because when you've got cysts on your ovaries, you can lose the baby more easy.
Yeah.
And it's pretty regular. So I had the other scan, and everything was fine. And then that's when your nan and granddad started buying baby beds, do you remember?
Yep.
Which is still down there in that room.
Yeah. So yeah, she was still pregnant for a little while after that. managed to stay positive. Obviously there were some negative thoughts, but we managed to stay positive at that time. Then, what was it? How did you find out again?
Well, that I was losing the baby.
It was when we rang up NHS, wasn't it?
No, that was when I spotted when we rung up them, and they, as soon as I said that I was bleeding, their first thing was, "You're losing the baby."
Yeah.
But then, I think I went to the doctors for that, and even they said no, it was spotting.
Yeah.
And that they must have thought I was bleeding heavily. But it was like little spots, wasn't it? It was only once or twice and it stopped. But about losing the baby, we had the second scan. We came back for, it was a month, wasn't it?
Yep.
And then I had another scan because I was coming up to being 13 weeks, I think it was.
Yep.
So by the time I got the scan, I was 14 weeks. And then that's when I started having more bleeding, and that's when you were saying no, that's spotting, do you remember?
Yeah.
And your grandparents were saying that as well.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I had a horrible feeling about it, and I said, no, it's more this time, I'm losing the baby. I said that for about a week before the scan.
Yeah.
You know. Then I went to the scan. That's when Nan came in the room with me. She asked if I was bleeding or anything, and obviously I said yes. I had to empty my stomach, obviously by weeing.
Yeah.
Had the scan, but I didn't have the one over the belly. I had the internal one.
Yeah.
To see what the bleeding was. Then that's when I then got told I was either having an early dismise, which is a miscarriage, but where the baby's like, because I was kind of still early on, it's where the baby halfway inside you, but it's still inside your body.
Yeah.
Or the baby just wasn't growing as it should have been.
Yeah. Which it was that one, wasn't it? The growing one.
No, that's my Master baby.
Yeah.
It wasn't growing. There wasn't a heartbeat or anything, so it was either them two, and she said if it's a miscarriage you'll know because within a couple of days you'll have bad pain and you'll have blood clots and things like that.
Yeah.
And then that's what started happening when I started bleeding heavily for days. For about nearly a week. Blood clots coming out. And then I think it was a week after the scan, or just over a week after, that's when I was on the toilet, and then the baby just kind of gushed out.
Yeah.
And then you could actually see the actual baby shape.
Yeah.
And that's obviously how I lost the baby.
So yeah, once it finally hit that we finally got confirmation that that we were losing the baby, that's when it hit me, and because obviously, as I said, it took me a very long time to get the confidence to actually be like really excited and for what was coming, and for it to be just instantly turned completely around. One thing that I probably do regret doing is well, there was two things that I regretted doing. The first thing was the argument part, where I had the argument with her, which definitely makes me feel like what happened was was my fault.
It wasn't. The
Um,
doctor even told you it wasn't.
And the second part that I regret probably is actually showing the signs of like emotion towards, like, with Kirsty at that time. At that time, I completely went out of the room. I went into the kitchen, closed the door, and instantly rang up my dad. And obviously, I told my dad on the phone that we're losing the baby, and it just came out. I just cried so much. It was a horrible experience.
Yeah, don't wish that on anyone.
And that's why I'll even feel very sorry for people that have had these sort of same problems with trying to have a baby and then it being taken away from them and such. So that was the second thing that I regret, because for a long time Kirsty said like she'd never really seen me get upset about that or anything. And I said, well, to be honest, I said, because as far as she knew, she didn't know that I cried. She didn't think anything. And then obviously, and then obviously I told her. I said, well, what you don't know is that I went down to the kitchen and instantly rang my dad up and told him, and basically just cried my eyes out.
What did your dad say actually?
My dad, he was obviously saying that because something like this does happen to a lot of people.
Yeah,
when their first time pregnancy. Some people get lucky and it's perfectly fine and smooth, and some people lose a couple of children before it actually becoming the real thing. But he's just basically saying that everything's going to be okay and all this kind of thing, because I have a really big connection with my dad. Ever since my parents split up when I was younger, I went with my dad. That'll probably be a story for another time, if you wanted to know that, obviously. And yeah, so that's the story of when we was going to become parents at one point. Also, actually, I forgot to show you, is that we also got tattoos in memory of the baby, which is...
Mine's banging.
We have this one here. It has the little baby's feet, and it says Mummy's Angel, if you can see that, and the date of when we lost the baby. I actually did that tattoo myself. I have my own tattoo gear, and I've practiced and stuff and such and whatnot. And then I did this tattoo on myself, this one right here, which is obviously rest in peace my baby, daddy loves you, and the date in the tombstone of when we lost the baby. Okay, so yeah, that's that story. As I said, it was definitely going to be a lot more on the emotional side than my last one. So I give a lot of respect to all of the other people out there who also struggle to conceive and such, and people that go through this kind of thing, especially the people that go through it a lot more, that have been through it several times than us. So yeah, I'm really sorry for those people. If you're one of those people, and then I would say you're very strong. You're a very strong person, and if you have, then I'm very sorry. So yeah, that's all it's going to be for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to hit that like button, comment down below if you want, share this video with your friends. You don't have to, as usual, but it's really appreciated. Also, don't forget to check out the merchandise store down below in the description. I will be bringing out a couple more designs and such for exclusive stuff, because these will only be I'll only be selling these for a limited certain amount of times, because they're done by quantities. So yeah, so remember to check that out.
Oh,
Want to say anything?
no.
No? No, she doesn't want to say anything.
Well, you pretty much just covered it all there.
Yeah?
Yeah, with your big goal.
Okay, so yeah. Thank you very much for watching this video, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.